What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the German Bear Podcast. And today we got my instant reaction slash game recap on the matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The Bears lose to the Vikings 22-29 in a close one and are now 2-3 on the season, but honestly guys, this one feels like an absolute win to me, even though the ending was bittersweet with the Amir Smith-Morset ending, or just pretty much bitter. But by the end of the day, the offense showed development. Lots of talented players for the Bears showed development. So this is the most important aspect of this Bears season for me, guys. Honestly, I want to see our young players develop. I want to see Justin Fields develop, which is obviously the biggest part surrounding the Bears at the moment. What do we have in our quarterback? Is he the franchise? Is he the future? That's a big question. And today he definitely answered some bounce back after some bad games against the Texans and the Giants. Really showed development today. Really love that. And with that being said, let's actually get right into it. You should see this episode on Monday. I'm recording it probably 1 to 2 hours after the game ended now. So if I say today at times, you know why. But let's start off with the offensive recap today. How did they perform? And overall, they started off okay. I mean, they scored 10 points in the first half. That's more than what I did expect, honestly, guys. It's a good defense. The Vikings have some really tough players in there. But overall, I think they had some good, solid drives, but just the defense got ran over fast. So it was also very just demotivating for the offense. But we got some good plays going. Had that nice touchdown by the end of the first half. Really loved this one. That sparked something with the Bears, right? Mooney with an insane grab, and then the really cool, I think, good third down call to run it right there because they really had a weak front in there. I think that was a good decision in that one. And just to get that David Montgomery touchdown. But our quarterback, Justin Fields, went 15 for 21, 208 yards, 1 touchdown, got sacked twice, and had a rating of 118.8. And this was probably his best outing yet in his entire NFL career. Maybe you can count in the Steelers game, but really love the throws and decisions in this one today. Not a lot of mistakes as of the first look right now. Also had 8 carries for 47 yards. And for him, just overall, loved how he was going through his reads today. Was calm in the pocket, made some decisive throws out there, some good zip on it, gave his receivers a chance. Pettis dropped some. You got a PI call early in the game against Pat Pete, I think on Darnell Mooney, which was called. He just took a shot to a receiver, and obviously the insane one-handed grab by Darnell Mooney. Again, beautiful ball, just beautiful placement by Justin Fields. Love that. And then he just once again displayed his speed, athleticism, just his escapability, getting out of the pocket, making some magic happen, having eyes in the back of his head, just feeling and sensing pressure. I think overall, insane good game by Justin Fields. Obviously, I will look at it a bit more in this week's Film Room episode, but overall, Justin Fields looked real good at first glance, and I'm just excited to break down his film and just see how the future goes with him. But really strong game by quarterback 1 today. As for the running backs, David Montgomery was back, and he was definitely a needed piece that we missed for 2 weeks or 1 week now. Obviously, he did not finish the Texans game, so basically 2 weeks, and he was really missed in the passing attack because this guy is a good catcher. He can catch out of the backfield, and it's just nice for these checkdowns after nobody's open. So he caught some of those, turned him into some long completions, had a 30-yard catch, had that really clutch one in that final drive that turned a second and 20 into a first down, something like that. I think that was that 30-yard completion. Really loved what he was doing. Rushing the ball was not that effective. Not that many holds were opened by the offensive line today, but he made some good things happen. Had the rushing touchdown, which was great as well. Loved the balance by him as always. And then we sprinkled in Khalil Herbert in there at times as well. And for the wide receivers, leading receiver yards-wise was David Montgomery, but we also had 2 big plays to Darnell Mooney. Longest one was a 39-yard one, that one-handed catch. Absolutely incredible. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm talking about. We gave Dante Pettis chances in the end zone. Why not give it Darnell Mooney? Throw it up to him. He can go up and get it. I think he can be a wide receiver 1 or one of the best wide receiver 2s in this league at least. So Darnell Mooney showed why he's such a good player. Had 52 yards today. Cole Kmet, 4 good catches, 45 yards. Love how he's coming together. Had some good blocks in there too. Really like what he's doing. And EQ also 2 receptions, 24 yards, some good catches in there, some good blocks by him as well. Definitely one of my favorite players at the team right now. He's definitely a guy to look out to be a future third wide receiver for the Bears, or just a role player, whatever. Let's see how he actually develops, maybe even more, but really like what he's doing. And then we obviously had Amir Smith-Marset. Don't have to add too much about that, but Velus Jones Jr., the rookie, only 1 reception, 9 yards, but a touchdown. Loved the play design, loved the call. That's what he's so good at, making people miss, trucking some players, falling forward, being fast, just being a special player overall. Velus Jones Jr. shutting down the haters that hated him for fumbling on a freaking kick return after he did not play for 4 weeks. So great little performance by him right there. Underrated, loved that one. And overall, receiving was good. Okay, but we have to step up as well. Players like Dante Pettis can't have these huge 2 drops in there. Amir Smith-Marset, obviously a big mistake right there as well. So I think the wide receivers did a good job. I loved how Justin Fields just spread out the ball today to several receivers and to several receiving options, but overall they still have to help him out a bit more. But I think we have some good pieces to work with even this year for the rest of the season. I truly believe in that. As for the offensive line, obviously you have to talk about them as well. I think they gave Justin Fields some good clean pockets today. Definitely he stood in there at times and had some good time, or had some good time to throw overall, but then there were also times where he had to escape the pocket quite fast. I'm just thinking about Sam Mustipher. He had some bad snaps in there to start off the game. He did not look too great as always. Still don't like him at all. He needs to get out of the lineup. As for the rest of the offensive line, we just have to wait and see for the film room, honestly. I can't tell you too much about them. I don't want to blame them. I don't want to praise them right away, right? But overall, I think they did a solid job. Justin Fields had some time on these dropbacks, so really liked what I saw out of them at the first glance. But let's see what they did in the film room later this week. As for the play calling, same with that. I've seen some calls that I liked. I've seen some calls that I disliked, but I can't recall them at the moment. I really like the 3rd down call with the run with David Montgomery. I think they caught them off guard there because they really had a weak front and expected the Bears to pass. Obviously, it's a gutsy call, but I think it's a good one because, like I said, the box was not stacked, and the O-line has proven the last couple of weeks that they can run the football and get a good push out of opposing defensive line. So they did a good job right there, and David Montgomery just with a beautiful touchdown. But with that being said, that closes the offense, and let's actually move on to the defensive performance. And the defense was... it was an up and down performance by them. Once again, rushing the football was a big thing for the opposing team. They allowed 117 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. That's the big one. Only 3.8 per average, but 3 touchdowns, that's obviously the big number that stands out. And then the secondary just struggled massively today with Jalen Johnson being out, obviously a big part. He's expected to play on Thursday. I will talk about that in the preview episode too, but overall 319 yards allowed, 1 touchdown. Justin Jefferson was eating today, 154 yards for him, but overall, I'm still okay with the defensive performance. I just first of all want to mention some players that I really like today. Kyler Gordon, bounce back game, 10 tackles today, made some really clutch tackles, shoestring tackles right there on one drive, had back-to-back shoestring tackles to prevent them from getting the first down. Love that. Also, Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson is playing out of his mind right now, has 9 tackles or had 9 tackles today, and just some really clean tackles, big hit sticks. He's not really missing tackles out there, getting turnovers. He's looking like an absolute beast. Also love the aggressiveness Jaquan Brisker is playing with. And then obviously one guy I have to mention today is Kindle Vildor. Had a clutch interception today. Great read on Kirk Cousins. Read his eyes, jumped the football, made the catch. Loved this one. Also had 6 tackles overall. The guy is really coming together. Had a bad year last year, but I mean today really proved that he can be a good boundary corner for the Bears moving forward. And if Jalen Johnson comes back, as it looks like right now he will against the Commanders, and then talking about Kindle Vildor, who is on the upward trend, and Kyler Gordon as well. I think our defensive backs and especially the corners are set to be better moving forward this year. And then obviously I think the safety duo is good to go as well. But just this game with especially Jalen Jones, he struggled a lot today, which, I mean, it's a UDFA playing against Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I don't blame him for that at all. And for the defensive line today, I think we had some good plays, especially Justin Jones with that beautiful sack. He really earned that, played well over the last couple of weeks now, and just having a quick get off, looking good. But then also guys like Al-Quadin Muhammad, Travis Gibson, they have some good moments in there. But overall, I feel like the pressure by the defensive line is not enough. Robert Quinn as well. They have some good plays in there. Like I said, they will have some good pressures. Travis Gibson had some nice plays in there. Al-Quadin Muhammad as well. Dom Rob too had that blocked field goal, which was clutch in special teams. Had a TFL today. Armon Watts as well. They are good, but overall they need to pressure the quarterback more, because you have a weaker secondary, so they need to step up. You have some bigger name players in there, so I expect them to be better, but they had a better game than against the Texans and the Giants, so it's a upward trend. Let's hope they get even better against the Commanders. So, okay performance, but nothing too outstanding. As for the linebackers, Roquan Smith was somewhat not great this game. I mean, he got juked out by, was it I don't know, it was Jalen Reagor, I think, so he was not looking good there. Overall, 8 tackles, and I can't really say what happened with him. I'll have to watch the film for him as well, but overall, not an incredible performance by the captain. He definitely needs to step up next game. I expect more from him. He needs to take over, just like Texans game. That should be just the expectation for him going into every single game. But overall, I think the defense still struggles against the run. They allow way too many first downs against them, and like I said, 3 rushing touchdowns allowed are too much. Overall, still, they only allowed 8 points today in the second half. So once again, coming up clutch in the second half and just giving the offense a chance. But the Bears defense really has to get it together and play full 4 quarters overall. I think they allowed 21 points, which is just too much overall. They really got manhandled in the first half. The Vikings absolutely destroyed them. But like I said, love how they bounced back in the second half. Just next time, play full 4 quarters and we're good to go. As for quickly special teams today as well, Velus Jones Jr., the rookie, 2 returns today for 39 yards overall. Longest one was a 24-yard return, which was kind of nice. Also, we had some field goals by Cairo Santos, 3 for 3, 100% obviously, and the longest one was a 51-yarder and also had an extra point, so he was responsible for 10 points today. Really clutch performance by our good kicker right there. And Trenton Gill was also having a really nice day. Josh Blackwell just missed a punt that he could have pinned down at the 1-yard line, just barely missed it, and it rolled into the end zone. So Josh Blackwell, really good special team signing late into the offseason, really goes unnoticed, but he had a big tackle, I think, early on in the game, and then almost made that play as well at the 1-yard line. Obviously barely missed it, but love the effort by him, so he is doing really well. And like I said, Trenton Gill, really good punts in there, 56-yard average today, so really love what we have in the rookie right there. So overall, I think it's obviously a heartbreaking loss at the end because it looked like the Bears were driving down the field and about to score. We'll never know. But overall, love the development, especially by the offense. They passed it way more and passed it successfully. Love that. Love the play call mixing as of right now. Still have to look at the film, like I said. And especially loved what Justin Fields did today. Really was a joy to watch him. And with that being said, that's already the end of the episode, guys. Definitely stay tuned for the Film Room episode. This one should drop at Tuesday, where we want to look at the Bears passing attack solely this week, I think, because I definitely want to focus on Justin Fields' performance this week because it was so well. And then on Wednesday, I'm looking forward to just getting out my game preview for Thursday night's game, because then we already will have the next Bears game against the Washington Commanders, and I'm looking forward for a big win for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. So with that being said, like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram and Twitter if you want to as well. And as always, guys, bear down.